Everybody, to episode 59 of the Overdriven podcast. As always, we are joined by Camo. What up, Camo?
Hello.
We are always joined by Hendrik. What up, Hendrik?
What's going on?
And then sadly, we're always joined by Bren. What up, Bren?
What up, fellas?
Well, okay, no
Sadness
comment
behind
there. Yeah, there was no comment. I was surprised.
I choose to
Anyway.
ignore negativity.
Yeah. Oh, well, boys, this week was interesting to say the least. Two good ones. One, no comment, I'm going to say, until later. But Premiere will start there. It was Gateway. Some short track, first time in this game. It's definitely a different experience than the Heat 5 version, I would say. I'll start with you, Hendrik, as you made your Premiere debut this week. I wanted to get your opinion on the Premiere series in general from your vantage point, and your first short track experience with them, and your gateway.
Yeah, I mean, the first stage was what I expected it to be. It felt really good to be running up towards the front for a good chunk of it. Stage 2, I kind of started to see a little bit of a difference. I did a little adjusting, but It wasn't enough as to what I should have done, but it was still good battling with people in the stage. Then stage 3, just somehow lost a lot of ground and fell out of the top 10, and it felt like everyone from 8th on back was like, it was like a war zone. Like everyone just kept getting into each other or running into one another, and even if you tried not to, I mean, it was gonna happen. But it still wasn't a bad race overall for me. Top 12, nearly got a top 10. And yeah, I mean, I do want to apologize to Camo at the end though for that contact that we had. Obviously, I know that kind of affected his finish. I was just trying to avoid Cobra, but yeah, that's the only thing I would want back from that race.
Speaking of camos, Camo, how was your experience at Gateway? I know you didn't have the result you wanted, but obviously you have a fast ILM car underneath you, and I know you had some issues not only with Hendrick, but you also had issues with the 12 car. So what was your experience like?
The 12. Did I have issues with the 12 car?
That's Hendrick.
No, sorry, not the 12 car. 7 car, sorry.
No, that
SRG.
might have been last week. I don't think I got into it with him this week, but the race, very, very bad in my eyes. So the general race itself, how it was ran and everything else like that, I would say was fine. But the racing, the people in the back or people that were running in the front that were sent to the back driving through the field, absolute ass. There were so many times where the dive bombs would send somebody up the track and you can't do anything about it and they just get a free spot. If you try to avoid them, they get the spot regardless. Or if you set your line, they run into your door. Either you go on the wall or you lose the line. It happened so much, especially by a person who almost won the race. Heard his name get called out several times.
Mm-hmm.
But that was throughout the race, and obviously that contact with Hendrick. I don't care where I finish. I am focusing on my pace. I
Mm-hmm.
know where I can run. I showed it in the race briefly. I just kept getting stuck. But so far, every race I have been top 10, top 5 speed wise without the results. So I'm fully happy with that, and I was not affected by getting absolutely fucking dumped at the end. I get over the stuff fast because I'm not taking it all that seriously.
Yeah, you're just running laps and doing what you can for ILM. But you obviously have the respect to do what you can out there, and you're not there to cause any issues like unlike some people.
yeah.
I would say. But yeah, I agree. It wasn't the greatest race. Short tracks in the next gen are not great, and then you also get to be really aggressive. I enjoyed it for what it was. Only 2 cautions, 3 cautions, and Premier always just does what it can to survive to next week. Not a lot of issues in the voice channel either, so I would say that was good. But yeah, you would say there was a lot of there was some issues that you said dive bombing. I know that 87 had an issue. I seen on video there. The 8 car got called out a couple of times, like I think you alluded to. Brandon, I know you were in the front most of the time, top 8, and you're second in points currently. How was your experience at Gateway?
Is my thing working? Okay, it is.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
It's frustrating. Very frustrating because there was absolutely fucking no way unless you sent the shit out of somebody on the bottom lane and you slid up and they didn't undercut
Yep,
you that
like
you
I
could
said.
pass anyone. So like you literally had to like either wait for them to hit the wall or just
Mhm.
plank their bumper, which unfortunately I did a lot, but I was trying my best not to lean on somebody. But when you're so much faster, but you can't get past them because there's no way to pass except the high lane, it just really made the race really just boring in terms of you could do some strategy. and Solo had good speed. Congrats to him for getting a top 5. He earned that. But strategy, honestly, track position was the key. Like if you weren't up front and you got stuck behind someone who was just a little off the pace, just a little off the top 3, they're pulling away from you no matter what, because you can't get around them, so you're just basically stuck. And it happened to me a few times, so I was a little frustrated. But all in all, I mean, I finished top 10. I'll take that. Gateway was frustrating. I don't. It was a good race in terms of how how it was overall in terms of just no cautions and whatnot. But I did not enjoy it because of you couldn't pass. You were basically stuck where you were. You have to either follow the guy in front of you, wait for him to make a mistake, or literally just send it and pray that he doesn't undercut you and just get to your outside again. So it was really frustrating, to be honest. I didn't enjoy it because I don't know. It's not that wasn't fun to me, but I can understand why it was a good race because it was ran well. I don't think we had a lot of issues in terms of actual racing. It's just that track in general was just so blah. I didn't like it.
Yeah, some would say that. To play devil's advocate, you were up there up front, so it's definitely going to be harder to pass. I saw firsthand on Yoshi Racing's stream that he passed everybody all night long. It got harder as he got up the field, but that guy went from 20th and getting spun out in stage 2 to going all the way to 6th at the end of the stage, passing everybody he could without dive bombing, without just letting his car come to him. I understand he was frustrated about being spun out. I don't know how he really got spun out or not, but it was a solo spin, so no caution happened. He got back into it and drove all the way back up to 6th by himself with strategy and some passing. So I could play devil's advocate there. Top 10 is definitely going to be hard to pass in general. With just the premier drivers in general, it's going to be really hard to pass. It'll be easier on speedways, obviously, just because draft has more involvement in there. But yeah, it was a flat short track, wider than Martinsville. So next gen cars aren't really great at short tracks in general, so it's very realistic with that. But devil's advocate, I would say it had more passing than people would think if you go back to watch it.
Yeah, I can see that in a sense.
It's the toughest series in the game. The roster is just so stacked, top to bottom. It's just so hard. I understand Sterlo has won 3 in a row and he's the class of the field, but anybody every week can go out there and win everything. We had 3 different winners on the stages. Everybody can go out there and win and steal a victory. And if that caution didn't fall, who knows what would happen at the end. Shout out Insolvable for taking that 2 tires. That definitely wouldn't have worked in Heat 5. He took a 2-tire risk at the end of that stage with I think 8 to go for that and held on to it, top 3 victory. And the more we get on this game, the more of those can happen with these last 10 lap restarts. The latest we can have a restart is with 3 to go. So it'll be very interesting going forward. But I will give credit to Premier. It's going to a short track and keeping their cool and being calm afterwards. Got a lot of issues on Discord about drivers going after each other. Voice channel was pretty calm. It was very. I understand points. I understand it wasn't the greatest experience if you were there, especially if you couldn't pass. Camo had some bad experiences, but I could lean towards people being enjoyable. Definitely was enjoyable for me. Just
I
wasn't
understand
the
that.
track I'm good at. But I definitely see your points. It's all fair, especially with these next gen cars at short tracks. But from what I looked at, I was like, okay, there was passing there, there's passing there. It wasn't just cars in a line going there. It was a lot of passing, a lot of aggression. Towards, like as Camo said, 8 to 10 to top 15 around you, Brent, as well in certain areas. That was really chaotic. Kendrick had some chaos around him. And he held his ground. Besides him and Camo issue, but they did really what everybody did what they could to survive, and I was very, very proud of them. Premier is just a step above everybody in my opinion. Very little what they could do get on my bad side. They show up every week, do the best they can. and I'm proud of him. Yeah, but shout out. I know Spartan got his victory in the stage. Proxy got a victory in stage, and then Sterlo came out with the ultimate checkered flag. 3 in a row. What can we say about him? Hendrik, I'll start with you. I know this is your only premier race so far, but seeing him win up close and personal, what was your experience racing with Sterlo?
Um, it was good to race with him. It was good to really race with a lot of the guys that we talk about every week, more the heavyweights. Sterlo was one of those that did race with for a little bit. It was pretty clean all around. I can't say much except, there's a reason why he's very good so far this season. But yeah, it was good battling with him. I know I had a pretty good battle with Cowboys at one point. I know I was up there with like Stein and them for a little bit in the first stage. So yeah, it was good to battle with some of those like top dogs. But yeah, with Sterlo, it was basically what I expected before the race started.
Definitely. That brings me to our first question somebody put in. Who do we see battling Sterlo after 3 in a row? Do we see anybody being on his level to dethrone him? I'll start with Camo since Brandon's his teammate and could be a little biased to that. But Camo, do you see anybody who can step up to Sterlo's last 3 races and finally dethrone him and take the mantle himself?
Yes, there's a couple, but I'll only say the one that really sticks out the most. I know he himself denies it, basically reminding us of how Sterlo usually is. Like he'll come into a race like, "Nah, I'm not gonna win this. It's gonna be bad." Stein in our chats does the same, and I have also seen Stein running in the top 5 constantly in almost every single race so far. Because every time I look down at the leaderboard or whatever it is, the track map, I always see the 23 in the lead at some point in the races. So he's there. He's always hovering around them, but just can't get it at the end. I know he got that win at Texas. I don't think he actually won this season. I think that Texas win was his only one, that preseason thing that we
Yeah.
did. But he's been there since Texas.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. There's a couple. Yeah, you're right. There's Dime. There's Lined. Um, there's just so many. I know Sterlo is taking it and ran with it right now, but it always comes back to earth a little bit here and there when you start getting your feet under you in this game. Sterlo took a little bit to get his feet under in this game, and he's taken the first couple races and says, all right, now I'm gonna get these 14, I believe, playoff points in 3 races, and
It's either 14 or 17.
it might be 17. It might be 17. But it's astonishing. It's very eye-opening. There's a dog to beat. There's a guy to beat Jason, and you better go chase him. That final caution, I don't know what was the caution of. I can't remember per se.
That might have been a part of it.
Yeah, so I got hit by Karen and I tried to save it, and when I got it straightened out, Camo had nowhere to go.
Okay, that was
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So that was the cost two around. Then that's up the 8 to go pit stops, or that's 9 to go pit stops, and then we had a lot of strategy. I don't know. We had one guy to strategy was unsolvable. Surprised nobody took it. But that set up the restart, which we can start playing now. With the 24 behind the 6 car and the 8 behind them, and are behind the second place car, and it was really a great battle. 8 to go. The 8 car, 24 gave a lot of respect to each other. 23 was up there as well. I think he hit the wall with 6 to go, and cost himself. I think he got a little Bryn nervous, like Bryn got at Iowa. A little nervous about being up there. with that many laps to go and hit that wall, try to milk everything out of it. Affected his overall finish, but he still had a great race. But yeah, what was your experience like seeing this firsthand? Brent, I believe you were up there, so you could see it playing out. I know you were in the party with your team. What was the experience like with 8 to go?
Our pick call? Do you want to know about our
No,
pick call?
I mean, if you want to,
or
you can give us the secrets. It's up to you.
actually, in terms of what we thought, I didn't think tires would last personally. I didn't think taking two would last. I thought 70% was like really worn on your left side, so I didn't
Mhm.
think we didn't think it was worth taking right sides only because we already had track position, so we decided to take four. And on the restart, Sterling did his job. Obviously he got it done, and I got stuck behind. Unfortunately, I tried to work with Cobra, but I think it was a Cobra. It was Cobra. I tried to work with him, but he kept making small little mistakes, just
Mhm.
like tapping the wall, slowing up in the center of the corner, and really just losing time. So I tried to be patient as much as I can, and we kept losing time. So by the last lap, I was trying to get around him, but it didn't work, obviously, because I just couldn't pass in the bottom. I think it was a me issue. I just didn't know how to do it. But yeah, I had to settle in behind him to finish sixth. But in terms of the last restart, I didn't get to actually watch the final battle, and now I'm seeing it for the first time. It looks like a great battle between Line and Sterlo. I know Line sent it in there. From my point of view, it looked like he sent it from the apron all the way up, split up, and then Sterlo undercutted him based on what I saw from my view. So I thought they were gonna wreck on the final lap. Not even gonna lie.
No, they're the class X, what they are. So they were able to hold it. I give credit to Line. He didn't wreck them at all. He sent it in as much as he could, gave it all he had.
I mean,
And
Line
then
would
in
have wrecked him.
24.
The 24 would have wrecked himself if we looked at the clip there going into 3. I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. A nice
Taken.
little crossover from the 24, and then squeeze him up a little bit to get that little side draft, what little that we have in the game at least, or just the good run the tires had in that bottom lane. But overall, it was what it was. It was a good short track. I'll be happy to get to these speedways. Um, a little bit. We'll see where everybody's is when we get to these speedways a little more. Got a couple road courses coming up. The Glen's coming up, so we see what happens there. Nashville's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, that's all we need to see about premieres. Great job. We'll bring in Impact, the team owner of the last guy who has won 3 in a row. Also the team owner of the Truck Series winner this week and Lefty. What up, Impact?
What's going on, guys?
Doing good, doing good. I know everybody's wondering about your future right now with a broken, was it fibula?
Yeah,
A
it's
little
my
broken
tibia,
fibula.
my right, my right leg.
So you're on the IR, as somebody would say. I didn't say it, but somebody else did in here.
Yeah,
So you're in the IR right now. What do we see about your future returning to racing in the near next month or so?
I'll know more tomorrow. Go tomorrow back to the orthopedic to do another scan and find out if they're going to do the surgery or if things are healing the way that they want to. I don't
Cool.
think it is based off the way it feels, but we'll find that out tomorrow about 10 o'clock, and I'll let everybody know then.
Very true. Very nice. So looking back right now, you've been sitting down watching these premiere races. Usually, I think you did one premiere race so far this year, but firsthand, you've seen your driver Sterlo. We always say no, he's a champion. He's a dominating guy. What have you seen with your team that has been putting them over the top in this new game? That some teams that really need to step up and figure out.
The one thing that I've noticed is, of course, it's my team, and I see what they do. They constantly practice damn near every single day on the next upcoming track together. They listen. Sterlo's a great captain. I couldn't ask for a better captain for my premier team. He's smart. He knows how these cars work. Obviously, it shows he's got 3 wins in a second and 4 races, 17 playoff points already. So I mean, he's on a roll. Cowboys, I wouldn't expect no less based off his talent. I think he got screwed last week when he was in second place. I think there was a car sitting in the track he ran into, so he lost a
45,
lot
yep.
of position there. Yoshi, I don't expect anything different out of him. I was hoping that he would pick up this game where he left off in Heat 5, and he's done a great job. I love his streams. I love the fucking comments he makes in the VC during the races. I can't help it. It fucking cracks me
Love
up.
it. Every week I watch them.
And but honestly, the person I was most concerned with into this game was Bryn, and he's stepped up. At the end of Heat 5, I bought him a shifter, told him to quit fucking around with the controller, stay on that wheel, figure it out, or get shift. And since I've said, I ain't lying, I said it to him, and ever since I told him that, he's had a top 10 finish ever since. And
Okay.
I mean, he's got a good captain in Sterlo to learn and practice with, and I mean, he's second in points. I zero complaints at him. Really proud of what he's done in this game and the way he started this season, and hopefully he keeps it this way as long with the other 3 in the Premier.
Agreed. I want to touch base with you in your truck series driver. They won Rockingham this week. What was your thoughts on that? And how do you feel about your truck series right now? I know Bren's the team captain for that. And how do you feel about that right now?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of interaction with the truck guys. I mean, I do and I don't, but I'm letting Bren. He wanted to run that, so I let him say, okay, you run it, and I'll just be there if you need any questions answered, blah blah blah, whatever. But Bren has done a good job with the truck guys as far as practicing with them and all that. I'm proud of the way they're racing. All 4 of them is within the top 14 in points. Last week, I was watching Hendrick stream towards the end of the race, and him and Lefty was kind of just pulled away from everybody. And when I think it was around 8 laps to go, I seen Lefty fall off, and I kind of figured he was trying to save that 3 laps of fuel you needed because Hendrick had his fuel gauge up so you could see. And once Lefty started doing that, I'm like saying to myself, Hendrick, do you not know what the fuck he's doing? You can't make it the way you're running, or you're not going to save fuel. But I hope you don't, because that's my guy behind you. And then, Lefty was able to save the fuel and get the win, and it was awesome. I'll take a win for my team 2 out of 3 races. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm happy with trucks and Premier.
Very true. And there's one thing that your team is doing differently than everybody else. It's not nothing new, but I don't believe firsthand. I don't believe a lot of teams doing it right now, but it's the party into while on Discord at the same time, but your team and the party discuss things and keep each other calm. Or I guess
Yep.
you can hear it in Yoshi's racing stream, how everybody's
Yeah,
keeping
I
him
love his shit,
calm
man.
and telling him he needs to retire and he sucks.
Yeah,
And then he finishes. Then he goes up there and gets 7 spots in less than 3 laps or something stupid. But do you feel like it should be copied? Do you feel like it's put y'all at an advantage of keeping each other calm? I don't know how much you're involved in these parties. I don't know if you sit in these parties before you go to bed and then give them a pep talk before you go to bed. But what do you see happening in these parties that set the team up at another level?
Well,
Without giving up too many.
Yeah.
What's it called? Just what do you see going on?
Yeah, when Sterlo recommended it, and we tried it. They tried it the first race, I think it was, and evidently it went pretty good. I wasn't involved with that, and then I subbed for Cowboys when he had to watch the Cowboys game instead. We did that, and it seemed to help. I mean, because if one of our drivers is struggling, we could communicate with our team, and not everybody else is hearing what's being said or whatever, or what's working for them or what's not working for you, or whatever. So everybody has the option to do it. Whether they do it, that's their own decision. And I think it's helped us. It does keep everybody calm, as you could, hear in Yoshi's thing when he gets all, I fucking suck. I need to retire. Blah blah blah. I'm sure at some point that Sterlo or Bryn or Cowboy said something to him. Say, hey man, just you got it. You're fast enough. You can get back up there. And I seen the one spin he had, and then by the end of the stage he finished sixth, I think it was.
Yep.
And that was all driving. Just and some strategy, and you go from no stage points to getting sixth place stage points. That's a win, and for that stage, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement. It's a force to be reckoned with as HVM. There's a question from the podcast. Questions directly to you for here. I'll send it to you right now. Did I lose it? Where was it? I lost it. Where is it? Question for Impact. How has it been being a team owner, and what do you take away from your team success?
Being a team owner, when I took it over from Midnight, he gave me that option. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I don't think I could have the success that I have in such a quick time if it wasn't for the guys that I have. Obviously Sterlo, I've known him before I came to this league. We raced a few times and we seem to work pretty good together. We talk daily about these upcoming races, strategies, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think HVM would be successful if it wasn't for my team. Obviously because of, the way that they race and the finishes they get, but the communication, they just work good together. They all get along. They don't bitch at each other. I mean, Sterlo, every race, I fucking suck. I'm going to quit, blah, blah, blah. And then he pulls off a win. It's typical. We don't even hear him say that really no more because we already know it's going to be said before qualifying. He's like, yeah, whatever, get it out of your system, or, his wheels fucked up or whatever. But, he figures it out at the end of the day. And they work really good together, and it wouldn't be successful without them.
Agreed. They're the one doing the work and putting in the time in. And a lot of teams, I gotta tell you right now, a lot of teams need to step it up because it's getting to be a landslide victory right now. And Premier teams got to put some overtime in to get these HVM drivers. I mean, two of them leading the top points right now, Thurlow and Bren.
Yeah, all four drivers are in the top 8 in points.
Yep. So it's a team to be reckoned with right now. So I think you got 26-point lead in the team points right now. 23, I think, somewhere around there. And
we're only 2 points out in the truck series.
Yep. It can change in a heartbeat. And team's gonna have to step up and do a little more practicing, in my opinion. So we'll catch up. We'll catch up with you later in the season. I do want to shout out to you as a team owner. You're one of the best we have. Obviously, you're a great friend, even though we pick on your age and breaking legs.
I don't fucking care.
and the stuff you do for us and helping fund us as well, being a nice little sponsor for us, me and you helping out and paying these top 3 victories and champions.
Yep.
So appreciate you for that. Appreciate you being here tonight. I know it's past your bedtime as being an old man.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to anybody.
I've told Sterlo these last 3 weeks, those winnings, since I'm out of work with a broke leg, I'd like to, I gave my Cash App to send it back to me, but I haven't received nothing yet.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. So he's got baby bills. He got baby stuff to pay. So he's got diapers to pay for and stuff like that. So I don't know if he's gonna see those. I'll give it to Hendrick, Camo, or Brent if they have any questions. I know Brent might ask for a renew of his contract here and make you put on the spot.
Don't ask.
Anybody have anything?
Oh man. Huh?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I just want to say to Hendrick, he stepped in last week for me in NXT, which we're not going to talk a lot about that. but he stepped in for me because I couldn't race, and I think he got stage points in both stages and finished 5th, I think it was, or 6th,
Yeah.
somewhere's in there.
Somewhere.
In the race I got 11th, but I did get stage
Yeah,
11th,
bad
points.
yeah.
strategy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so I just want to say appreciate for him for stepping in for me. He's going to step in this next week for me as well. And
Yep.
as long as he stays on the the non-shit list, he's going to drive for me until I get back.
I can.
I appreciate him doing that, and you know, yep, that's about it.
Anybody who has a Premier approved list is not on my shit. Like I can tell you that. Anybody who has the blessing to run Premier races, very hard to get on my shit list.
Well, when I made that post, and then you messaged me, it says that's not legal.
I
And
didn't say
was
that was
like-
not like I said.
No, you-
I don't release the approval list until that
yeah.
night. If
Well,
he
it was
wants
pretty
to
much saying it was
put a
illegal post. So
Okay.
that's
I mean,
why I just
it's-
modified it. As long as he stays on the approved list,
Yes.
he will drive
Yeah,
for me.
I do it. I do it. I don't
Basically,
want.
it was a correct statement. He's just making you
Yeah.
stretch it out longer.
Oh yeah, I know.
Gonna stretch out. As long as you know it and plan it out, it's very likely gonna happen. But if Hendrick showed up to Rockingham in the Truck Series and that was catastrophically bad, I couldn't approve him the next day
Oh no, yeah, I get
in
it.
a worse car and say, all right, I can't approve you. I think I did it to, no offense to Dew Prime, but Dew Prime showed up Saturday night to the Truck Series in Rockingham, hit the wall every chance he got, didn't cause any miscues. It was basically just himself. But I was like, I can't put you on the list of NXT series with the issues we already have. I can't put you on the list to race in the NXT as a sub if it's the same track and short track issues and you hit in the wall in a tougher car. So so I definitely don't approve everybody at once, but Hendrick has been approved for NXT and then Premiere in the same weekend. So, he'll be I'm sure he'll be
he's done a
fine
good
for next
job.
Sunday too.
Yeah. I try to when even when I'm racing, obviously a lot of people have seen my setup. I posted it before. I have 6 monitors, 3 tablets, and I still suck. But I have all this technology here. So everybody that's streaming, I tried to join their stream just for the viewership and all that. But when I wasn't racing last week, I had like 6 or 7 different streams going, just watching the people. And it's just, it's cool to see that, to have that many people streaming in a race. I wish we could do more. It'd be awesome if everybody could, but people have internet issues or doesn't have it set up or whatever. But it's cool to see all different people's perspective views, of driving styles, all that kind of stuff. It's nice to have, and man, I really can't wait for spectate mode to come to the next
It's gonna be
game
great. It's
and get
gonna
these
be
guys
great.
back in the booth.
Camo and Hendrick back in the booth is gonna be great. Bren too. It's gonna be great. It was just
Now
slowly but surely.
You don't say it's gonna be great when and Brent in the same fucking sentence.
I mean, he's great in Premiere right now. He's doing great in Premiere right now.
I was going to say it. I've heard that damn thing twice this podcast, and Carrot finally acknowledges it.
What happened?
Fucking.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Said
I'm not
twice,
acknowledging it.
and I have died inside.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard it too, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah,
shit.
once we get to spectate, yeah, it's gonna really change things, and I think the Camo and Hendrick, for the most part, they're the primary broadcasters and all that, and the way that their tone is when they're broadcasting these races and when there's action, especially Hendrick, he gets real. You could tell he gets real energetic with it, and I can't wait for it to come out because I don't get to see it while I'm racing, obviously, but I always go back the next day and I actually watch Camos and Hendricks while I'm at work and or listen to it, and it's always entertaining and I look forward to it again.
Yep, they tell a great story. Can't wait to have them back doing that when they're available to do that. I think it helps them a little bit being able to race because they can actually understand it better.
Yeah, you gotta race the game to know what you're talking about, so you can see when these things happen. That's a really good piece to go broadcast somewhere. You gotta know what it is that you're talking about.
Yep, agreed.
You
Agreed.
can't
All right,
just
Impact. Appreciate you being here.
Yep.
Thank you for being here. I love having you here. I'll talk to you in the future as well. I'm sure we'll get some victories from you when that the healing begins and you're back on that track. And let's not be on my shit list on NXT. All right.
Hey, I haven't done anything in NXT.
Well, you haven't been
Yeah.
there, so you got lucky.
Exactly. I ain't on the shit list.
But
So,
we'll move on. A nice little quick Rockingham recap for trucks. Lefty won. It was a very fun one. Andrew, start with the thought process going into that final caution and looking at that fuel mileage and never crossing your mind about saving 2 laps.
Well, I mean, here's how I say it. Here's how I see it. I'm not the best with fuel saving. It's hard for me to save fuel. It doesn't make it much easier when I had a guy running behind me for a good portion of the stage. But to be fair, I don't think I would have been able to still save 2 laps knowing me.
You're on controller, aren't you?
Wait, what?
You're on controller, aren't you?
Yes.
Was Lefty also on controller?
I honestly don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I saved it and I was on control. I can tell you that.
'Cause okay, I was about to say because I know with the wheeler shifter, it's massively better than controller.
But what I will say was that I made sure I was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I liked the raw speed that I had all race. I still think I didn't get the finish I deserved. I
Mhm.
definitely thought I would have been the top 5, but getting those playoff points is definitely a plus out of that race. I will definitely take that for sure.
Yep, a very good one. A very good race. Rockingham was a tough track for the trucks. A lot of wall issues, a lot of here and there, but they gave it everything they got. Very few calls. We only had 2. So it was very enjoyable. A lot of racing all around. A lot of issues on the wall, passing people with their head in the wall. That helped. I think I got into an issue with Cade, maybe not Cade. Who was? Oh, Wizard. Me and Wizard got into it. I thought I was clear up top, and he was still up there. I thought he was in the wall a little, and clipped his bumper, and then put me in the wall, thinking I was clear. That's what spun me out in that final stage. And then I knew it was a fuel mileage because that caution didn't come out then. So I was like, okay, people are spaced out now. Let me save these 2 laps and get a top 10. So I was very happy about that. But overall, very good race. No complaints. Everybody's doing a great job in trucks, learning, getting better. Voice channels, A+ effort. Nobody's being bad in there or being an asshole or talking shit or anything like that. So very enjoyable experience. No egos. Shout out Cowboy Tech. He's doing a phenomenal job. There's a little thing I haven't addressed in a couple of weeks, but I don't know if he's using it. He might be using it as ammo, but I haven't included him in the power rankings in like 2 straight weeks. And it's helped, and I'm not going to do it until it stops helping. So he's got like top 10s in like 3 straight races. And the second week, I was like, oh crap, I keep forgetting Cowboy Tech. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep it going now because he don't know he needs ammunition to if he doesn't need that ammunition to keep getting what he's doing, let it happen because he earns it and he's doing what he can. But shout out Cowboy Tech, I see him. I'm not forgetting him. I'm not forgetting him. It's just that the power rankings are hard. I give Brendan credit. Those power rankings are pretty hard because you got to go back, stage results, finish results, and somebody gets left out. When you remove somebody, you don't get able to save it. You delete the name, and you're like, okay, where do I put him now? And so it's not the easiest thing in the world. So he's the one who gets
Going
the
off results is easy,
Yeah.
but to really get it, you gotta pay attention of the average running position. That's the real thing that gets it, and that's what makes it difficult, probably a lot harder to do.
Yep.
Well,
But shout out to
can
Go
I say
ahead.
one thing about Cowboy Tech?
Yeah, go ahead.
I talked to him about 3 weeks ago. He's probably one of the most respected racers that we have.
Agreed.
And
100%.
he gets out when he's slower, he gets out of the way. He doesn't try to hold you up. And I talked to him about this. I said, make them earn it. Don't give it to them. Because you're a little slower than they are, doesn't mean you have to move out of the way. Make them earn it. And he started doing that, and his finishes have improved.
Yeah, I keep telling him that as well.
Yeah,
Just
because
you
he's
have to fight him.
very
Don't let him by.
respectful. Yeah, he's very respectful to everybody, and he moves out of the way. Say, quit doing that. You're going for points. That's what your ultimate goal is the best finish that you could possibly get. If you're slower and they're faster, make them figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Speaking of Cowboy Tech, he was one of the few people who were quote unquote demoted after Iowa from NXT, only for the simple fact as he ain't gonna learn anything in NXT going 45 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour pace speed. And I was like, all right, you focus on Truck Series right now, get your green flag racing, and you'll be back up here when we can get some green flag racing. And I just sent down Polisheimer to do the same thing. I know it came across as being penalized, and in his opinion, being penalized, but it's a blessing in disguise. And we're gonna go with NXT right now. So anybody needs to tell anybody that I'm talking about NXT. Here we go. I'm not gonna go on a rage. I'm not going to
Oh dang.
I'm not
I
going
didn't get
to
to tell him.
berate them. It's not gonna help, evidently. I'm just gonna tell them that this is the last hurrah, because if changing the car doesn't help, at Nashville or the coming weeks at Glen, and I don't forget what's after Glen, Atlanta, these don't help. It's ending time. It is RIP NXT series. I'll restart it. Camo already knows my thought process in restarting it and the approved list of people who would be allowed to start it. I'll start from scratch. Day one NXT stuff. I will cancel the season. I will do what I have to fix that Sunday night, because I know some people who have respect in that series who don't deserve to be pacing in top 8, top 10 people who don't deserve to be out there in 65 laps. And we can't, admins and team owners cannot gauge if somebody belongs in Premier Series if we don't have green flag racing and help. Team owners, we need help. We need people to start practicing better. We need people to start helping each other. It's gotta happen. There's no excuse. It's been awful. It's been the shittiest. It's been the shittiest season Underdog's ever had. NXT has been a complete and utter failure of a series. And it stops with to the top to the bottom. I understand there's people who are on the good side, and they're not all that, but it takes everybody to make it all good, and it has to be good. I'm not even looking for the great. I'm not looking for great. I know somebody put a pocket question in there. I'll let Brandon read it, and I'll let y'all the others discuss it as well. Do I have expectations for NXT? Yes, but are they expectations? Are they too far out there? No, in my opinion, no. I expected them to be better than Truck Series, and the Truck Series to start off really rough, and it's been the opposite. So my expectations are the Truck Series to struggle, and NXT to be a step up from that and be better, and then get people to Premiere, and Premiere to obviously to be what Premiere is, and they've been Premiere as great, and then it's just been Truck Series who's been out driving NXT like crazy. We saw Hendrick is a clear example. Hendrick has been getting green flag racing in trucks. Has already pretty much jumped NXT in his availability in Premiere. So I don't know. I'll let y'all discuss it. Y'all have opinions on it. I know I went on a rage mode for after Iowa, so I'll let y'all discuss it if you want. And if my positions are too high, Camo, you can go first.
Oh, sorry, you were rambling, so I kind of zoned out.
Is there anything? Is my expectations too high for NXT, or is it a me problem, or is it an NXT problem?
Oh no, it's 100% an NXT problem. I I'm the one to have a no filter, but I will have one this time. There are plenty of names that I could list off that are the problem. I'm not going to do it now because I would have to go back and look at it again, but there are people in that series that are the problem. They don't realize they are the problem and then continue to cause problems. It's not the series. It is by far not the series. It is the people on the game that do not know how to drive.
Fair point.
And
Brent, how about you?
people,
Go
well,
ahead,
hang on, sorry. And it's people that are still running this game like a different game.
Mm-hmm.
The draft on any series will exponentially throw you closer to the car in front of you. When going up the gears, you gain an extra 30 miles an hour. The moment you go off to the side of them, you lose that 30 miles an hour. So now you're deadlocked next to somebody who you're not going to pass because there's no momentum, which then causes more wrecks. Which brings me to the certain few people that are the problem.
You can say them. You can say it. I give you full reign to say it.
I will not say it.
Hendrick, Bren. I'm getting.
I will not say it for now.
Hey.
If it continues to happen, I will call out names. I think one of them already left. I can go back and look at that one. Where's this channel? Did one of them leave?
Bot commands.
No, one of them did not leave. That was a different
okay.
person.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know the list that you're talking about, but I'm very interested. So you can send it to me in the senior chat if you need to. Bren, somebody who's a former NXT driver, and you know how far it has dropped since you leaving it. Even though we had some good times last season, I'll give him that. Do you feel like the car switch will help since NXT started with the next gen car? Or do you feel like it's inevitable, it's the drivers themselves and it won't help at all?
We saw it last season, on a different game. I don't know why, but it takes them. It happened like this last season, and we saw that, and we kept having to, rant and rant and rant and rant, and then they finally cleaned it up for a few weeks, and then the game went out. So they took this huge break, and they're back to that cycle again. So, do I think these cars will help them in terms of the racing? Maybe, because Xfinity cars, you have to be a lot more, I guess, patient on the gas. You can't be as aggressive. You can't send it like our last previous game, Heat 5, in Xfinity cars and expect it to stick. You're gonna wreck someone. You're gonna get loose. You're gonna get loose on this game. It's just it's just a fact. You have to be more patient. You can't just push someone in the corners. In terms of the racing, I think Cup. I honestly I don't know because these cars get a lot tight. They get tighter as the run goes along. So I could see a lot of wrecks just coming from people just sending it in. They're getting tight and they just run up the track and turn someone. Which we know I haven't watched an NXT race. I have to admit I haven't watched NXT since I stopped commentating it. I don't have a need to, and just based on what I've heard, it has been horrible. But
I'd be glad you haven't seen them.
I know. But in terms of what can I expect for Cup at Nashville, if it's run properly and they don't be stupid, this track can actually be a very fun track. It's multi-groove. You can run the top. You can run the bottom. Tire wear is going to be a big thing. So I think if they don't cause 8 million cautions, which they have been doing this year, and I think there will be less cautions, Mets, because Cup cars are generally easier to drive, in my opinion. Just setup wise, they're just tighter. A lot of people don't like how tight they are, and that's why people don't like them. That's why people like Xfinity. They're loose. You have to drive them. But in terms of raceability, I don't like how Xfinity races personally. I think it's fun to drive, yes, but when you're racing against other people and you're in a huge pack and you get loose at all, you're going to kill the pack because that's generally what happens when you push that hard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect
Thank you.
timing.
Thank you. That's a good one. But yeah, Nashville should be fun. In terms of NXT, disappointed to say the least. Didn't expect it to turn out this bad.
You want to call out? You want to
it
call
had-
out any drivers that Camo won't call out?
I don't really have any. I know some that I like internally would think that, but I don't think he's been that. I don't know.
No,
I don't want to say that. No.
If you say it, say his name. I'll say if he's been bad or say if he's been on my good list or bad list.
If he's on your good list or bad list,
Yeah, you can say his name.
Tata.
He's been on my good list. He's one of the
Yeah,
few
I was gonna
people that have
say.
been. He's been in one of the
I was
few.
gonna
Him
say.
and
He's been
Yeti.
a good listen to ODRL.
He's him and Yeti have not been an issue in NXT. Why NXT has been
Confirmed.
crashing down, and that is the
You
weird
should
part.
see him in another
He's
league.
been good.
Yeah,
Holy
I've
shit.
heard. I've heard.
Ooh,
I've heard.
what happened?
We won't talk about
Holy
that. We won't talk
No,
about that. We
nothing.
won't talk about.
Never mind.
Can't talk about
Yeah,
that.
Tata has.
Um,
He's known to be.
It's bad.
Okay, relax.
He's
Um,
aggressive.
Bad.
but it's my thought process of this was changing cars. It was get back to the NXT basics. Also have an opportunity for team owners to because most team owners are premier drivers or premier ready car premier ready guys. So they'll practice getting ready for premier race, and now they're going to be able to practice with their NXT drivers without having to run Xfinity cars, because a lot of people will not practice. If you're a premier driver, you're not going to go down. You're not going to practice Xfinity car. You're going to tell them to go practice. But now you can have team practices that are centric to that track. Schedule's not changing. The only changes we're making for the schedule are Charlotte will be a 25% race, because no way in hell I'm letting people do 2 days in a row Coke 600. That will burn out somebody in a really bad heartbeat. So minimizing that a little bit, and NXT will not be going to Chicago Street. They'll be going to Sonoma. So that's the other change. So I got expectations. Not high. They're very low. Got to be better. That's all you got to do. Be better. If you don't be better, then I'll just, we'll restart it. And approved list drivers will get to race. And if you're not approved driver, you can sit there in the server
Stare at the
until you get
walls.
removed for and think about what you could have done differently and improved yourself, or find yourself in a truck ride if you get the blessing of being that. But yeah, that's all I can really say about NXT. We're not gonna pick them anymore. No more NXT picks. No more winners posts for NXT. They lost their chance out on money race. They lost their chance on championship money. They lost their chance out on bracket. It's just gonna be treated like a third series right now, and maybe next season they regain all that stuff. But if you're gonna ruin the chance to be a feeder series to the Premier Series and have the feeder car to the Premier Series as in Xfinity cars, you can't handle that. Can't handle you on a Premier Series, and I sadly can't even. Some of you can't even handle a Truck Series.
Damn.
And it's really disappointing. It took away my favorite car in the game. My own league, I had to take away my favorite car. I love the Xfinity cars, everything. I love to drive them. And I had to do it. For the betterment of the league, I had to take both owners' favorite driver, favorite car is, Iron Man's favorite car is also the Xfinity. But speaking of Iron Man, he put a good point in me a couple of days ago that I know it wasn't intentional, but having Irish Iron Man impact a couple of these guys come from Premier down to NXT really could have downgraded NXT to an extent because of the egos
Change their
stepping
mindset.
up and trying to change. It stopped becoming a more feeder series and started becoming Premiere 2.0, which was it was basically a 10 times worse Premiere. Because people they had to think they had to beat Iron Man, they had to beat Impact every week, they had to beat Irish every week to get a chance to run a Premiere. And it was a result, so I apologize for that. And going into a new game, you don't know who's going to be good in a new game, who's going to be bad in a new game. And, I didn't really want to be strict about that. I will be strict about it going forward. And hopefully change. That's all I can really say. Be better. You got your last chance. This is your second strike. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. I'm not looking for greatness. I'm not looking for caution-free races. I'm looking for better races. I'm looking for better green flag races. I'm looking for green flag pit stops. I'm looking for patience. I'm looking for give and take. I'm looking for voice channel calmness. We had a fucking issue with fucking people not admitting to cautions Sunday. We had people saying, I don't want to get a strike. I don't want to get a strike because I'll strike out. Yeah, you will strike out because the way you're racing, and you shouldn't get a strike because the way you're racing, and you should be.
How are you striking out? You get 3
2 people
strikes.
No,
it's 2. It's 2.
Get 2.
It's always
It's
been
2?
2.
Oh, they were
always been 2.
Oh, okay.
It's always
I
been
thought
2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you're mentioning the whole accountability aspect that's lacking in there, because it was not hard at all for me to notice the lack that was in that race.
Mm-hmm. And going from a driver, as your point, obviously going back to commentary whenever you can, but as a driver who's working his ranks up through the ODRL series, what is your viewpoint going from trucks? Your hope is pretty much skipping NXT at this point and going straight to Premiere, if I had to guess.
Yeah. All I can say is this for NXT. Yeah, there's a lot of big faces in there, but regardless of who you are, yeah, taking responsibility for stuff is something that really needs to be fixed. And it's not only that. Obviously Discord was not a friendly place, but there was things that should have never been said in the voice chat, but was said. It was a clusterfuck. That was all it was. And I remember, I don't know who it was, but they said that 60% of the race was basically going, pace speed.
Yep.
So yeah, I hate that that's kind of the only way that I can get up there, but I do think that I am one of those people that can get up there.
Agreed. Speaking of that, I'll drop the NXT comments now. Be better. You know what you gotta do. Taking everything away from you. I don't give a shit what you gotta say about it. If you don't want to be NXT or be an ODRL, the door's that way. I know 2 people have left already. Respectfully, find better. Good luck finding something better, because this is your opportunity to be in the best league on console racing in pretty much everybody's opinion. And you haven't done what you did. You haven't done your job to make it better and find something better somewhere else, in my opinion. So I'll leave it at that. But going forward, somebody asked in a podcast question of Hendrick's future and if he has any announcements coming soon.
Well, I definitely think as the weeks go by, I'm definitely going to be getting more offers. I am looking for Premier rides right now. NXT, it's technically an upgrade, but at this rate, is it really? So yeah, I don't have that much time left until the spectator mode does come back. I do want to at least get to that Premier Series. I do think I have the capability of competing, but it just depends. Whoever throws that offer up has that belief that I can be a Premier driver. It's just a matter of who it is.
True story. I think everybody's looking. I think everybody's got that eye on you, Premier driver, in our opinion, and then we saw that at Gateway. I'm sure we'll see it in the upcoming weeks. That opportunity at Nashville, and C4, especially now that we're in the same car in NXT, so you're able to get approved after trucks into NXT in a cup car, and see how you do in a cup car in a tougher field. I would say even if they're a shit show, and then if you show speed there, people are really gonna say, okay, let's put him on a ride on Mondays and let him get us points, and then hopefully get us full time points. Obviously, I know your thing is right now is with Doghouse, but obviously Truck Series knows that your job number one is to get to a higher series. So we look forward to seeing what you got there. Somebody put this question out there. I don't know how they meant it to. I don't know how they meant it to look. So I'll let Camo or Bryn put this in perspective. I don't know who put it in there, but it says who has the biggest target on their back. In my opinion, the biggest target on their back is Sterlo, being three winners in a row and having to get them. But I don't
It
want.
just determines on how you want to perceive that question.
Yeah, I don't know how to perceive it.
Are you talking about the person who's winning the most? So obviously that's the person you're gonna have to like focus on and beat, or is it the person like Stein who's been there but hasn't been able to send it out and take a win? So you can do either one, but it's basically that there's two options. Target on Sterlo to learn how to beat him, and then target on Stein to be the person that picks up those a couple extra spots and actually performs where he's running.
Yep. And we'll keep this to a premier question here. This is another good question. Do y'all see anybody in the premier standings that will not make the playoffs? Looking at it right now.
It's like the most obvious answer.
Besides you, besides
Shut
you,
up.
who? Anybody see anybody that would be shocking left out of a premier top 16?
Definitely not the guy who left the Discord server a couple days ago.
Well, I don't think anybody in premier left it.
Max Snipes did.
Oh
one
yeah,
sitting on
he was never full time.
Surprised that would not be in the playoffs? Like someone
Yeah, if there's
who
any
like, if
surprise,
they
like
miss.
like if they missed, you'd be
Currently
like, oh, that's
sitting,
weird.
I would say Andy.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I would agree.
I really haven't seen him in top 10 pace. He's been top 15, top 20. I usually see him around there. Every now and then I'll see him up front, but he always falls out towards the back. I don't think he's fully got the game yet. He could keep it in the playoffs, but based off what I've seen so far, I think Andy's gonna fall out over time.
Definitely. I mean, I think he has it. I think he has a speed. I think he definitely showed it at Gateway. He definitely has speed. But everybody, thank you for the podcast questions this week. I appreciate everybody giving me their pointers on how to fix NXT. If you have any, Brandon, I'll give you one if you have one that you want to answer. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for putting in. I looked at all of them. There's something that we have always looked at. We have, trust us, admins have all discussed all of them. Every one of them that somebody's brought in, we've discussed them all. We continue to discuss them all on how to improve it. So, appreciate your input on that. Brent, do you have a podcast question that you want to bring up for discussion?
Let me look through this.
Pick a question, not the suggestions that people fucking put in here.
Yeah, don't pick a suggestion.
Okay. There's not really any questions for me, so unfortunately. But all right, so this is a big move. Also, Tata, I was just inferring about you. You're good. I'm happy that you're racing well. No complaints from Mets, so that's a good sign. You're improving. With CMC, Costco Motor Club shutting its doors, what does the future hold for their current and past drivers in any cities in ODRO? Well, majority of them, while they were really good on Heat 5, the main problem with that team this season has been availability. I don't think any of them showed up besides Banjo and Yoshi.
They have
I
a
mean,
couple points, but that might have been from subs. I don't know.
Yoshi and
Yeah,
Banjo
Slurp.
have been the only one who's really shown up, and I think that's the reason they shut down, to be honest. And then they
Yep.
lost Reagan Boy, who left the server due to the cars chaining. So I really think the only ones who are gonna get job offers are Yoshi for availability, plus he runs every week. He's solid. I mean, he top 15 every now and then. He can be decent on a good night. And then Banjo is cream of the crop. He's one of the guys that you're going to want to sign if you have available spot. I think he's really good at this game. He hasn't raced a lot, but I think he's a solid driver who can get you top 10s in the Premier Series too. I personally, if you have a spot open, offer it. I mean, he's worth it. I think he's a good teammate. I don't know. I haven't been teammates with him ever, but I know he's a solid driver. He'll get you top 10s and he'll run the best he can. So those were the two that I think would get signed. I think the other drivers, I would have to look through the roster, but I think that team in general has good drivers. It's just they haven't shown up, and that's
We
the only
haven't
problem.
seen
They don't.
anything to prove that they are.
Yep.
Exactly.
I
That's
know
the problem.
Normie
They
has
were
left.
Slurp.
Lubis decided not to use him. Slurp is a good one. He's hit or miss. But as you said, Banjo is a person who's hit or miss because he was he was an issue Sunday in Rockingham
Oh yeah.
and didn't get approved to be a sub for Gateway because of his
Oh
because of
wait,
his
I
race he
think we
did at
did have Slurp on one race. It was Pocono, right? He got pole.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
he
Yeah.
ran
fell.
solid.
He
Victory.
fell. No, he did not.
Oh,
No, he did not.
did he?
He
I thought
got
he did.
pole in
No,
like
that was
his
the other guy.
highest running
That was
position
Steins.
was like 22nd. It
Yeah,
was bad.
Welpdang did good.
That was Steins' guy. Villachero also really solid. I think he's been showing up a
Yep.
lot more lately.
But he was already a solo driver before CMC. But yeah, it's very interesting. I hate to see a team go, but if the guy's driver's not gonna show up, why keep it around and just add the cars being open and let them be an open driver? Obviously, I've heard rumors about people reaching out to Banjo, and I think his decision right now is just be a solo car because he doesn't have the self-esteem right now in the game to be a contender. Hopefully that changes soon, but we'll find out. Besides that, let's get to our Nashville preview. Trucks and Premier are both here at Nashville. First time in the new game. First time, I don't believe it's ever been a NASCAR game. It might have
No,
been.
it's new
Has not.
for me.
It's not.
For
'Cause
me, at least.
I don't even believe. Because I'm back in the old days too.
I don't
and
think
I
it's
don't
been
believe.
on any other game.
Yeah, I don't
Has it
think
been on
even
09?
Have
don't
they
have
believe
raced in
Xfinity?
so.
Nashville before?
I don't
They
believe. So. I
have.
think it was. I don't.
I thought they did. I'm
They have.
80% sure they
It
did.
used to be.
They run
Yeah,
at Xfinity back in the day because
they used to run
Ricky
Xfinity.
Stenhouse, Carl
Okay.
Edwards finished.
Yeah, I remember.
Or was that
It was
Logano
just
winning
never a
it.
quick track.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Logano used to winning it at an Xfinity in that 20 car. It was always different. It was always different when I was a little bit. Oh, it's concrete. It's not Bristol, but it's different. So I was always interested in it. But I don't know if it's ever been in a NASCAR game. Even when they raced it back then, I don't remember because I remember IRP used to be in the game, but Nashville I don't think was. So it's going to be a first time here. What is the expectations you have this week, Mr. Bren?
I'm very optimistic in terms of the racing. I think this will be a lot better than Gateway. Sure, the bottom's gonna be less dominant, but the top, I don't think it's gonna be as dominant as Gateway. I think Gateway was heavily dependent on the top lane. Also, tire wear is a lot more important at this track. You're gonna have to save your tires, especially in the long run. You might even get to 0%. Unfortunate that they don't have blown tires on this game. That'd be so awesome because
agreed.
you would see so many of those. But yes, Nashville is a tire dependent track. I won't share secrets, but just know saving tires is gonna be a key factor here. Long run pace is also extremely close. There's up to a second loss on long run pace, so you might want to pit later or put earlier. Depends on what you like. Really, strategy is going to be the key. I think there's going to be a lot of green flag racing. You might get tight as the long run goes, so I could expect a few wall touches as people get tight underneath one another. They might get contact, but overall, I think trucks will enjoy this track. It's definitely a driver's track for sure. I get destroyed in open lobbies at this track, so I ask for tips, and I'm getting videos of that. So I'm learning stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Cameron, do you have a expectations you got going in this week?
I mean, trucks hasn't been a problem at all, so my
Yeah.
expectation is not death.
Hendrik, how about you? You feeling like get the
Not
monkey
death.
off your back and get that first checkered flag?
Anything is possible. I mean, that's all I got. But if it means anything,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
there's a better chance I'll get another stage win based on how recent things have went.
Fair point. Fair point. Fair point. All right, let's get into these picks. We'll start with the trucks. Bren. Actually, I'll start with Camo. Camo won NXT this week, but we're not picking NXT. So Camo gets the first pick in trucks.
Hendrick.
Hendrick is your pick. All right.
Immediately taking Hendrick.
All right. Who's your dark horse?
I will go ADR.
Okay. Very good one. Very good one.
That's about
All right. I will go with Bren next. Who you got, Bren, for trucks?
Can you repeat who the
Nashville.
Hendrick and AD.
Okay, all right. That makes it pretty simple for me. So I raced with this guy. Obviously, he was able to get it done last week. He's very good on short tracks. I know this because I ran North Wilkesboro with him, and he was keeping pace with me. I'm going with Lefty. I really think his pace. He's really good on these short tracks. He knows how to run them, and I think he'll continue his hot streak.
It's the guy for short tracks when we're not going to a short track.
I consider a short track 1.5 miles. Okay, I don't care.
I don't know if you consider this one on.
Those are wide ass turns.
Whatever. I'm going with him.
Okay,
all right,
whatever. Go ahead. Who's your dark horse?
And then Lefty is my main pick, and then my dark horse this week. Do I want to?
Yes, you do.
Let me look through it. I'm gonna go with Pure Splash.
How is that? That's okay. No, that can't be a dark horse if he won.
He finished 10th. Okay, never mind.
He won
finished
already.
10th. Okay.
He's won already. Yeah, he's won. He won North Wilkesboro.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, then I'll go with. He's not even. He did miss last week. I guess I'll go with him. I'm gonna go Homer this week. I guess since I can't pick who I want. I'm gonna go with Dark Pumps. I think he returns with a redemption. I know last week was hard for him. He went into the race, but unfortunately he had something show up. He had something happen or something. He had to take a mental break. So he'll be back this week better than ever, and I think he'll run well at Nashville. I think it'll be good for him.
I think he's up and coming driver.
I trust my team.
Yep, Homer, I would say. Hedrick, who do you got for this week to not beat you?
He's dead.
Shit, my mic was muted. But that was fun wording. Okay, well, based on the trends here, feels like we get a new winner every single week.
Yes.
I think if there's one person that has been pretty due for a win, it would be Juicebox. I mean, you could say me all you want. I mean, that's definitely not a bad answer either. But I mean, I'm gonna go with the alternative and say Juicebox. Being the point leader, I'm shocked he hasn't won yet. 2 poles, multiple stage wins. He's been in the top 10 in every single race so far, but he's never finished in that first spot yet. But I do think he's got the speed to at some point get a win, and I would think if there would be a good week to do it, it would be this week. My dark horse to go with it, I am going to go. You know what? Give me Cowboy Tech.
Okay.
Since we're talking,
hell yeah.
Since we're talking about good streaks, and since we're talking about managing your stuff, I would think Cowboy Tech would be really good at that. So if it does come down to it, I wouldn't be shocked if he is one that ends up surviving till the end.
Very true, very true. I'm going to go with a repeat winner from the season. I'm going to go Dew for my main pick. And then I'm going to go Jennings as my dark horse. I practiced with him a couple days ago, and I think he has great speed. He's finishing well. He's getting acclimated back to league racing, and console racing, and he's doing very well. Dude's a great one to have as a main pick, and can win every week, and can win any given Saturday night. So interesting to see what he has. But those are two great picks. Everybody has some great picks this week, so we'll see how those play out for the Truck Series. But we'll move on to Premier, another Nashville. We're Nashville as well. Bren, you won last week, so you get first pick this week. Who do you got for Premier Nashville main pick, and who's your dark horse?
I think to answer your question earlier, who's got a target on his back? Obviously it's Sterlo. He's the guy to beat. They're gonna race him as hard as they can, but I really do think this week he will continue to do it. I'm going with him as my main pick. I know it's easy. He's a homer. I've been a homer this week, to be honest, and that's because I really believe that our team is really good. Sterlo's also really solid at the Nashville track. I ran with him earlier. He's really quick, so expect him to be up front. That's gonna be my main pick. And my dark horse this week, I'm going with someone who's been very underrated. I think last week, unfortunately, got into it with Sterlo. They apologized about it. I think K-Therms has been really underrated this season. I think everyone's
Yes.
overlooking him.
So,
He's been
Yes and no
really
for
top
me.
10 driver every week. I think he's got speed, and I really do think if everything goes right, he's kind of like me in a sense this season, where he just knows how to get to the front at the end of these races and have a chance at potentially stealing the win. And I really do think he'll run well at Nashville.
Great. Hendrick, how about you? You're next. Who do you got for your main pick? Who do you got for your dark horse?
Well, for so much communication from what I'm hearing about, how hard he is on himself, I think Nashville is a good opportunity for Yoshi Racing.
Okay.
So I could see him pulling off a win. I know it's not like one that immediately pops out, but I think he's proven to be a contender, each and every week. Gateway, unfortunately, wasn't the best for him. I know there was a moment where he did get wrecked and he had to march all the way back to the front, but I think Nashville will be a lot more peaceful for him. And then my dark horse pick, I'm looking down the list here. I am going to go with Chastained on this one.
Oh, okay.
17th in points, now technically 16th is one thing. But one thing that catches my eye, he's yet to get a top 10 this season. And I know there's a couple other people ahead of him that hasn't gotten one yet this season, but I think Chastain's going to be one that takes himself off the list.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, Kimo, who do you got for Nashville Premier?
Easily going to take Stein. I don't care how negative he is about what he's going to be doing on Monday. He's been up there every week, so I'd be stupid not to pick him.
Yep. And then who's your dark horse?
Bouncing around a couple. I was looking at one. I can't choose him for that. I'll go Savage.
Okay.
He has picked it up a bit as the season goes on. I remember, obviously, after the Super Speedway, but the first couple races,
He's picking
very
up. I
far
agree.
back in the running, and every week he's slowly getting more spots and then more spots and more spots. So I think he might be figuring out the game a little bit. He might not have it completely at all, but you never know. It could be a switch.
You never know. I agree. I'm gonna go with Shocker for my pick one. We haven't discussed him all
That
season.
is
Pretty.
key to continue on now.
Was that?
Did I die?
No, you're here. You got
No.
us?
Okay. Why is everyone quiet after I stopped talking?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. But those are good picks. I'm gonna go shocking here. We haven't talked about it all season. Unless he has some issues at a certain Iowa track with somebody in particular near. But I had a practice with him, and he was light years above anybody else in said practice. And I think he can carry it over to the track if he can get his long-term handling correct. and focus on that instead of his hot laps. I'm gonna go Proxy. I finally think he can get the monkey off his back, and he might be in line for a couple in a row if we get his road course racing the same as Heat 5. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. But I'm going Proxy for my pick at Nashville. And then my dark horse is I'm gonna go shout out top three driver this week. I'm gonna go him as my dark horse. I'm going Insoluble as my dark
Insoluble,
horse.
yep.
Just because he gets the respect and strategy falls in a certain area. It could happen. He's a
We almost saw it.
strategical wizard.
True Tire could do it.
He can do it. But that being said, a good old producer. I'll send it off here. Appreciate everybody for listening. I know everybody started a rant for NXT, but it was really more of a discussion. But appreciate everybody listening, and shout out Insoluble for producing such a great product. It's great to see videos back in the background as we're discussing Premiere, and we hope to get some timestamps in the future, some
Commentary.
some lists on the page to see when we're talking about which and what's up and coming, and what we discussed about just for replay purposes and whatnot. But I do appreciate everybody for listening. Shout out our picks. Again, NXT doesn't get picks or pretty much anything going forward. They really have to focus on racing first and foremost before they get anything else. And we'll talk more about everything else next week after Nashville, and look forward to enjoying that next Thursday. But Insoluble, feel free to send us out, buddy, and let me know when we're off air.